The NASDAQ market is trading a little bit lower, and it has everything to do with some uncertainty with OpenAI. Here's everything that you need to know about what is going on right now. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with a super quick market update. I do want to remind you that tomorrow is the FOMC rate decision and press conference. I will be live streaming it for free, and if you want to tune on into that live stream, all you literally need to do is drop a thumbs up on this video and make sure you subscribe. The NASDAQ market is down 1.34% QQQ, beginning to show some signs of an early support. I played it super safe. I kept my position size incredibly small. I just got tired for the past 2 trading days. Markets try to sell off and then quickly recover, and that happened on Friday and then also yesterday. Markets sold off for a little bit, causing SQQ to go up, and then it just ended up giving it back, and it was a relatively flat day. Today, I didn't want to overcomplicate it. I sized down. Once I began to see that we were testing pre-market highs, I just played it safe. I made $2,500. I closed out my trade, and that's really just it. I don't know if you guys have been feeling the same way where, markets are so overbought within such a short period of time, right? On the 4-hour time frame, so overbought that it really doesn't make sense to go long, but it definitely doesn't also make sense to carry a short overnight, knowing that markets are incredibly irrational, knowing that we're about to report big tech earnings starting tomorrow. We have an FOMC rate decision tomorrow. And the thing that I quickly want to talk about, Trump's tweets. Like, you can't make this up. President Trump tweets about that Iran has informed us that they are in a state of collapse. Do we really believe that? They want us to open up the Strait of Hormuz as soon as possible. Do we really believe that? It's just shedding light that we're going to make a peace deal soon. Remember, how many times is it? What are we, 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks? How many times are we going to celebrate the end of the Iran war without it actually ending? It's just pushing markets higher. For what? It just doesn't make sense. But note this, anytime oil breaks above $100 a barrel, Trump will post a tweet to try to, in my opinion, manipulate the market. Look at this. 1 minute before markets opened, he sent this tweet. Why? Well, markets were trading lower, not just overall markets. I really don't think he cares that much about overall markets. I think he cares about oil because it's really taken a hit when it comes down to consumers and how it impacts inflation. And then inflation, if it continues to go up, the Fed is less likely to cut rates, kind of like what we're expected to see tomorrow. Tomorrow, the expectation for a rate cut is 1.1%. There's a 98.9% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to pause tomorrow. Trump wants rate cuts, but he will never get that if inflation continues to go up, and oil prices are a big contribution to that. But what is really leading the sell-off today? I wanted to really just give my take on it. So markets are pulling back a little bit. Honestly, not that much, but they started selling off a little bit more aggressively during the pre-market session. Trump posted that tweet, caused a short-lived rally, and then they went right back down. They're kind of consolidating right around 655, I would say, for QQQ. But why? So S&P slips, NASDAQ slides more than 1% as OpenAI growth concerns weigh in on AI stocks. So there is some uncertainty that, and this is what I wanted to share. Some people are saying that OpenAI misses a target and the market immediately started pricing in AI like nobody else needs compute, saying that all of this focus is on OpenAI and it shouldn't be. In my opinion, semis are some of the best performing asset classes for this year. They're up 45% on average year to date. Any disappointment could trigger a sharp pullback when there's this much projection and overvaluation and hype being factored in, right? I'm all about, the future and forecasting and projecting, right? Things that are being factored in. But when uncertainty or disappointments begin to present themselves, then you can't satisfy that overvaluation. I just think that's common sense. So OpenAI sparked huge rallies last year with all of their partnerships. Do you guys remember all of those memes where OpenAI is partnering up with NVIDIA, but then NVIDIA in return is investing into OpenAI? The same thing with Amazon, the same thing with Meta, the same thing with Tesla. Literally, like all these OpenAI partnerships cause markets to rally even higher. So for people to complain and say, oh, well, they're just upset, like OpenAI is not the only one that is leading the compute. No, it's not what people are saying, right? It's understanding that, well, OpenAI was one of the main reasons that markets rallied last year, sparking all of these like new all-time highs when these partnerships were announced. So yes, I think it makes complete sense. And this is nothing, truly. But I think it makes complete sense that when OpenAI begins to deliver signs of concern or disappointment as they missed their own targets for new users and revenue, then yes, when these huge companies are projecting and over investing billions of dollars, I think it's like 500 billion or over 500 billion this year alone into AI, then yes, it makes complete sense on why any disappointment could possibly lead to a slight pullback or correction. And being quite honest, this is nothing. This is a 1.3% drop on the NASDAQ market when it's been up 20% in like 20 days. Yes, individual companies are selling off a little bit harder, but not that bad, right? AMD is down 4.4%, but who's complaining? This stock went from $200 when we started investing in it all the way to $352 in 30 days. That's like an 80% ROI. Again, I'm all for investing into the future and these like hyper-inflated valuations. Sure. But when there is disappointment being shared, you can't be narrow-minded. You have to acknowledge that, okay, hey, they're not meeting investors' expectations. They're not delivering in everything they said they would. So therefore, that needs to get priced in. Just like we priced in exaggerated goals and targets, now this is where the corrections tend to happen. We're seeing the same thing slightly happen with Intel. Again, Intel loses $1 billion a year, yet this stock is up 360% in a year. Is it wrong that it's correcting? Right? We got Oklo down 7%, almost 8% on the day. We have Nvidia down 3%, obviously a $5 trillion market cap, a little bit more exaggerated. SanDisk down 7% on the day. So yes, although the NASDAQ market is experiencing a slight correction, I wanted to shed light and for you to understand how this is, how this does make sense. I think that is my biggest goal with this video is that, and don't get me wrong, I do believe that this can get bought up. Remember, tomorrow we have the FOMC rate decision. And then on, tomorrow as well, we have Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Alphabet reporting earnings. And if they blow their earnings out of the water, meaning they exceed expectation, everything is going exactly according to plan, then markets earned the rally, right? Like I want it to be earned. And this is what we talked about in our live trading session today with my LPP team, right? I go live every single morning with them and we talk about the market, what's affecting it. So it's a great way to start the morning. Again, if you ever want to tune on in, it's the second link in the description down below. But what we talked about was we just want it to make sense. This slight correction makes sense. There's uncertainty in a sector that has been incredibly bullish. And when any disappointment delivers or presents itself, it makes sense on why it's pulling back, right? I think we can all agree on that. With that being said, if big tech, the Mag 7 companies that report earnings tomorrow, if they exceed expectation, then they've earned the rally that should follow, right? If they do end up making new all-time highs, great, they earned it. The part that we don't like is when we see Trump's tweets 1 minute before markets open. Like that is not something that anyone can prepare for. And in my opinion, and that's all it is, it's just market manipulation. The reason I don't like that is that for a short period of time, right? For the past 2 weeks, we've seen markets have one of the best recoveries in a short period of time based off of these tweets and the speculation that the war is over or has ended 10 different times. But it's not true. And eventually, fundamentals do matter. We have a weakening labor market, one of the weakest that we've seen in the past few years. We have inflation that is beginning to rise. And we have a lot of these companies that are factoring AI and all of these huge advancements, but yet one of the biggest AI companies is not delivering. There's uncertainty there, right? There's some red flags being raised. And when you dive a little bit deeper, this is the part that I found to be quite interesting, is that you can even see the average price of a gallon within the US has risen to $4.18, the highest level since August of 2022. Again, after the post-pandemic rally and when things became, if I'm not mistaken, much more uncertain. So we'll see. We'll see how things continue to develop. With that being said, although there is uncertainty, I know markets are very eager to recover. So like I said, all my shorts are closed. There's no reason for me to like, oh yes, markets can possibly sell off or continue to sell off when I don't know what's going to get reported tomorrow. And when I know that Trump can just send out a tweet to manipulate the market. I don't like trading against that. So two things can be correct at the same time. Markets are overbought based off of false news and manipulation, but also markets and market sentiment is so bullish that carrying a short overnight probably isn't the safest thing to do, right? Intraday, just like you saw with the day trade, I saw an opportunity, I took advantage of it, closed it out, and I move on. Now I wait for tomorrow. Once things begin to settle and if things begin to make more sense, then maybe I can feel more comfortable when sentiment becomes favorable, right? Keeping it simple and waiting for direction to become favorable to then open up a short when direction, price action, and sentiment are in my favor. Until then, we keep it simple, close out the trades daily, and let the markets do what they do best, and that's staying irrational, right? Because markets can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. But I love having these conversations with you guys because it's not just the headline. I really like to take time to understand or try to understand why the markets could be maybe pulling back a little bit based off of this news. And that's all it is at the end of the day. It's a headline. But I think it's important as traders to try to do our part to inform ourselves on why markets are pulling back today and some of the disappointments that are presenting themselves. Not to devastate you or discourage you, but to shed light of like, hey, maybe there is some uncertainty. It's good to take that into consideration. Not to overwhelm you, but just, important to understand downside risk. So again, I'll make sure that I do my part in keeping you guys up to date. Again, I do plan to live stream the FOMC rate decision and big tech reporting earnings tomorrow. All I ever ask you to do is drop a thumbs up on this video and make sure you subscribe. Also, I want to invite you, if you ever want to tune on in to watch me trade live, it's the second link in the description down below. You can join right now and start watching me trade live as soon as tomorrow. I appreciate you guys' time, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.